first started learning English, I had many problems. I could understand a lot when people spoke, but when it was my turn to speak, I felt lost. I knew the words, but I couldn't say them quickly. My accent was difficult to understand, and I was always afraid of making mistakes. I didn't know how to improve my speaking skills. In this video, I will tell you how I improved my English speaking skills in just 6 months. I will share with you the methods I used, the mistakes I made, and how I finally became more confident speaking English. If you are struggling like I did, this video will help you. 1. Speak every day. The most important thing I did to improve my speaking was to speak every day. At first, it was hard. I felt nervous, and sometimes I didn't want to speak at all. But I forced myself to talk every day. I started by speaking with myself. I would look in the mirror and talk about my day or practice saying simple sentences. Speaking every day, even to myself, helped me build confidence. It made me more comfortable using English words, and it helped me think in English. The more I spoke, the easier it became. If you want to improve your speaking, you should also try to speak every day. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes. The important thing is that you keep practicing. 2. Record yourself speaking. Another tip that helped me a lot was recording myself. I didn't like listening to my voice at first, but it was a good way to see my progress. I would record short sentences or small talks about my day. Then I would listen to the recording and notice where I made mistakes. Recording yourself can help you hear things you might not notice when you speak. For example, I noticed I was saying some words too quickly, and I wasn't pronouncing others correctly. Once I noticed this, I could work on improving it. You don't need to make perfect recordings. Just do it regularly and listen to your voice. This will help you correct mistakes and improve faster. 3. Listen to native speakers. One of the best ways to improve speaking skills is by listening to native speakers. I listened to English podcasts, watched movies, and listened to songs in English. This helped me understand how people really speak, not just the textbook English I was learning. Listening to native speakers helped me improve my accent and speaking speed. I also learned a lot of new words and phrases. When I heard these words in real-life conversations, I felt more confident using them. I recommend listening to things you enjoy, like music, movies, or podcasts. This makes learning fun, and you can learn more by hearing real English in different situations. Practice speaking with others. At first, I was afraid to speak with other people. I worried they would not understand me or that I would make mistakes. But when I finally started speaking with others, it made a huge difference. I found language exchange partners online. I would speak with people who wanted to learn my language, and in return, they helped me with my English. This gave me the chance to practice speaking and listening in real conversations. It helped me improve my speaking skills much faster. If you're nervous about speaking, try to find someone to practice with. It could be a friend, a language partner, or even a teacher. Speaking with others is one of the best ways to learn. 5. Focus on pronunciation. Another big change I made was focusing on pronunciation. I realized that even if I knew the right words, my accent was sometimes hard to understand. So, I spent time practicing pronunciation. I would listen to a word, repeat it, and make sure I was saying it correctly. I practiced difficult sounds and words, especially words that were hard for me to pronounce. Slowly, my accent became clearer, and people understood me better. To improve your pronunciation, try watching videos with subtitles. Repeat after the speaker. You can also use apps or websites that help with pronunciation. The more you practice, the better your pronunciation will get. 6. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. This is one of the most important lessons I learned. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. When I first started speaking, I made a lot of mistakes. Sometimes I used the wrong word or my grammar wasn't perfect. But that's okay. Making mistakes is part of learning. If you're afraid of making mistakes, you won't speak at all. But if you make mistakes, you can learn from them. I didn't let my mistakes stop me. Instead, I used them to improve. Over time, my mistakes became fewer, and my speaking skills got better. So, don't worry if you make mistakes. Keep speaking, and you'll improve. 7. Use simple words at first. When I first started speaking, I tried to use difficult words. I thought using big words would make me sound smarter, but it only made things harder. I would forget the words or say them incorrectly. So I decided to use simpler words at first. When you're learning English, it's better to speak clearly with simple words than to try to use difficult words and make mistakes. Over time, you can add more advanced vocabulary to your speech, but don't rush it. Focus on speaking clearly first. 8. Learn phrases, not just single words. Another thing that helped me was learning phrases, not just single words. In English, we often use phrases like, "How's it going?" or "What's up?" rather than just saying, "How are you?" Learning phrases helped me sound more natural when I spoke. Instead of learning just single words, try learning useful phrases. These are often the things people say in real conversations. When you use phrases, you will sound more like a native speaker. 9. Use English in everyday life. To improve your speaking, try using English in your daily life. I started to do small things in English. For example, I would change the language on my phone to English. I would read news articles or watch YouTube videos in English. Using English in your everyday life helps you learn without feeling like you are studying. The more you surround yourself with English, the faster you will improve. 10. Stay patient and keep practicing. Lastly, I want to say that learning English takes time. There were times when I felt frustrated or thought I wasn't improving, but I kept going. Every time I practiced, even if I didn't see results right away, I was getting better. Be patient with yourself. Improvement takes time, and it's okay to take small steps. If you keep practicing, you will get better, little by little. 11. Learn from your mistakes. As I practiced speaking, I made a lot of mistakes. At first, this was really frustrating, but I soon realized that mistakes are part of the learning process. I started to see them as opportunities to improve. Every time I made a mistake, I would stop and think about what went wrong. Did I say the wrong word? Was my pronunciation off? This helped me become more aware of my weak points, and I worked on fixing them. I also learned to be patient with myself. Instead of feeling bad when I made mistakes, I reminded myself that each mistake was just a step forward. If you want to improve your speaking skills, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep going. 12. Watch movies and TV shows with subtitles. Another great way to improve speaking and listening is by watching movies and TV shows in English with subtitles. At first, I watched with subtitles in my native language, but later I switched to English subtitles. This helped me match the words I was hearing to the words I was reading. Watching shows and movies also helped me learn how native speakers use expressions and slang. It gave me real-life examples of conversations, which made it easier to understand how English is used in everyday situations. Choose shows or movies that you enjoy and try to watch them in English with English subtitles. Over time, you'll start recognizing words and phrases, and your listening skills will improve. 13. Break down your learning into small goals. At the beginning, my goal was just to speak better English. But as I kept practicing, I realized that it's better to break down big goals into smaller ones. For example, one week, I focused on improving my pronunciation of certain sounds. The next week, I worked on learning new phrases. Setting small goals helped me stay motivated. Each time I reached a small goal, it felt like progress, and that kept me going. Instead of thinking about how far I had to go, I focused on one thing at a time. I recommend breaking down your learning into small, achievable goals. Whether it's mastering a certain sound, learning 10 new phrases, or having a 5-minute conversation in English, small goals will help you feel successful and keep you moving forward. 14. Get feedback from others. Feedback is very important when learning a language. I didn't improve my speaking skills by just practicing alone. I asked others to give me feedback, whether it was a teacher, a language partner, or a friend. When I made mistakes, they corrected me. This helped me see what I needed to work on. It also gave me confidence because I knew I was getting better. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback. It's one of the best ways to improve. When you get feedback, listen carefully and use it to make adjustments. This will help you speak more naturally and clearly. So, these are the things that helped me improve my English speaking skills in just 6 months. I know you can do it too. Speak every day, listen to English, practice with others, and most importantly, don't be afraid to make mistakes. With time and practice, you will improve your speaking skills. Remember, learning a language is a journey. It might feel difficult at times, but if you keep working on it, you will see progress. Keep practicing, and soon, you'll be able to speak confidently in English. If you like this video, please subscribe. Peace.